Oh Lord, pull up in that '04, pedal to the metal, says she wanna hit the flow more.
Okay, this week I'm going to tell you who the Falcons should draft with that number 8 pick overall in the NFL draft next Thursday. And next week, I'm going to tell you who the Falcons are going to draft. Anyway, subscribe to Atlanta Sports Unlimited right here. Tremendous coverage of all Atlanta sports teams on this YouTube channel. And we're sponsored by Prize Picks. Great fantasy game. Over or under, you can pick 2 to 5 players, various sports, and just put in that promotion code of Atlanta Sports Unlimited, ASU, right there to win big time. Also, May 17th, I've got this book coming out called The Real Hank Aaron. You can order right now on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, and I'll tell you more about that once we get closer. Now let's get back to the Falcons. The Falcons need everything. Well, except for maybe tight end and place kicker. That's it. But everything else they need. They need running backs. They need wide receivers. They need interior defensive linemen. They need a pass rusher. Goodness knows they need a pass rusher. They need linebackers. They need people in the secondary. They need a punter. Yeah, but you know what? Before you can, put up those walls and the ceiling and the roof, which is all that stuff is, you need to build the foundation. They need offensive linemen. Take that number 8 pick and draft an offensive lineman. Yeah. Did you see the Super Bowl? I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals have this extraordinary quarterback named Joe Burrow. Couldn't tell it. They should have won the Super Bowl, but you know what? He couldn't stay on his feet long enough. I mean, at the end of that game, great game against the LA Rams, the Super Bowl, he had a guy wide open, but he couldn't see him because he was looking up at the ceiling of SoFi Stadium because he was on his back. Yeah, and then earlier in the postseason, he was sacked 9 times by the Tennessee Titans, but they survived. But anyway, you get my drift here. Back in the old days, all right, I discovered the real Raiders. This was back when they were in Oakland, and they had the guys that you know about, the John Matuzaks and the Ted Hendricks, and more famously the quarterbacks, Darryl LaMonica, Ken Stabler. I covered them when they had Jim Plunkett. And the reason those guys were so successful is because on the left side of that offensive line, they had 2 dudes. One named Art Shell at left tackle, another one named Gene Upshaw at left guard. They played side by side together for 15 straight years without missing a game, all the way to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Yeah, let's stick with history. All right, Bart Starr, Johnny Unitas, Joe Montana. I covered Joe Montana too back in the day. Troy Aikman. Were those guys ever sacked? It didn't seem that way. Yeah, and then you got this guy, Tom Brady. You never, ever, ever heard during the Super Bowl them mention any of his offensive linemen. That's because he never got touched. Let's look at the contrast of that. The Falcons had this Pro Bowl quarterback named Matt Ryan, which they let get away for like a 3rd-round draft pick to the Indianapolis Colts. That's a whole other story. But anyway, the last 4 years, Matt Ryan here with the Atlanta Falcons was sacked 40 times each of the last 4 years. That's a lot, folks. Last year, he was hit more than any quarterback in the National Football League. Not coincidentally, the Falcons have had 4 straight losing seasons and counting. But you know what? In this particular NFL draft, it is loaded with offensive linemen, quality offensive linemen, particularly at left tackle, which is like that premier position, all right? There could be 6 of those guys go in the 1st round. So the Falcons need to take that number 8 pick and get them an offensive lineman. So you know what? The Falcons are going to take that number 8 pick, and they're not going to get themselves an offensive lineman.
This is my falsetto wicked potion with the slow pour. This is my addiction, make me want to go for more. Pale